Black and White Network fans, we are back with another video. And boy, the Democrats are in trouble. They are in real trouble. I made a video earlier today how this black pastor was out there destroying Joe Biden for destroying his country. And one thing I said, man, when Democrats start losing black people, start losing their vote, they're out of power. They're out of power. So that leads us to this story today, folks. It kind of echoes off of that. We actually have a South Carolina council member, black woman, Democrat. Well, she used to be one until a day ago. She has now flipped and joined the Republican Party. We're starting to see this trend, guys, too. And by the way, I got another video coming on the sports channel. Black NBA player, former NBA player, guess what? He's running for Congress as a Republican. We're starting to see the change. But anyway, check this out. South Carolina Democrat switches to Republican Party. Why, you may ask? I am pro-life and for funding police. This is very, very simple, folks. And I believe the whole defund the police thing, I believe that did a lot of damage to Democrats when it comes to their relationship with the black community. When you start defunding police, and we've seen these blue cities that defunded their police department, they actually had to go back and refund their police department because crime ran amok. It skyrocketed. And what communities were hurt the most? You guessed it, black communities. But let's go ahead and play this clip here. It is retired Army Lieutenant Harriet Holman says she didn't agree with Democrats any longer on key issues. So I'm going to play this clip here, guys, and we're going to react to it. So let's do it.
The Democratic Party exodus continues as the last remaining Democrat in South Carolina's Dorchester County Council, I should say, now says she'll run for re-election as a Republican. Joining me now, that individual, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Harriet Holman. Lieutenant Colonel Holman, thank you so much for being here. What was the final straw for you that led you to ditch the Democratic Party?
Well, it's just some things that I had looked at that I just didn't agree with any longer. And one of the things was that I am just totally a pro-life, and I am about capitalism, and I am for funding the police. And so those things are what made me make my final decision.
You see, folks, the Democrats have went full socialist. She's not a socialist. So she's saying, I do not agree with these people. They do not represent me or the American people. She believes in capitalism.
You said you originally ran as a Democrat, and I'm going to read your quote exactly, because, quote, that is what you are supposed to do. Do you see that notion changing among a lot of people, specifically among African Americans?
I do. I think that, you know, when we are born, we're born into our families, and we kind of take on the trait of what our families are. And my parents were Democrats, and so that's what I was. It was never even thought or considered about changing to the Republican Party. But as I, you know, retired from the military and started getting more involved in my community and started seeing things that were just not quite like I thought they should be, I decided to make a switch.
You know what? She's right. A lot of black people vote Democrat because their parents voted Democrat. It was the same way with me. I voted Democrat because that's the way my mother voted Democrat. And by the way, I believe she voted for Biden too. I didn't. I started paying attention. And when you actually look at it, man, when you look at the values of black people, the Democrats do not align with the black community, but they keep getting the black vote. And it seems like a lot of black people are starting to wake up.
And it wasn't an easy decision. I talked to family, I talked to friends, I talked to some of my constituents. And a lot of my family members are really Republicans as well. So it was not too hard of a transition at all. And now that I've done it, I am very much at ease with it, very much happy with my decision, and I'm enjoying being a Republican for the last 24 hours.
Understood. Meantime, there's this. Michael Bloomberg warning Democrats of a midterm election wipeout. Here's the headline. San Francisco shows Democrats have a seismic challenge ahead. Without changing course, the party is headed for a November wipeout. His argument is that Democrats got to stop focusing on political correctness and culture wars. So I'll ask you, as a former Democrat, why did the Democratic Party, when you were in it, and now why do they currently still focus on things that the majority of the American people, regardless of party, don't care about?
Well, one of the things I think they should be focusing on is the things that people are talking about at the dining room table. At the dinner table, we talk about a lot of things, and one of the biggest things that we're talking about right now is inflation. Inflation is 7.2% inflation, the highest inflation we've had since 1982, I believe. And then we're talking about gas prices, which we may see a $4 gas price here this year alone. So those are the things that we need to focus on. Those are the things that my constituents are focusing on. And those are the things that I want to change and help my constituents, get through right now. I don't want to keep seeing the middle class people go without. Because of inflation, because of high gas prices. So we need to look at that and try to help the individuals get further. And not with just handouts. We need to just help them get further with not having inflation being a huge part of their life right now.
Harriet Holman, you've been a Republican for 24 hours now. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your service.
And there you have it, guys. Harriet Holman flips. She goes from Democrat, I should say, to Republican. We're starting to see this trend. It's happening right before your eyes. And I believe that Joe Biden has done a lot of damage. He's actually helped a bunch of black people get away from the Democratic Party. He just has. Let's give Joe Biden credit where credit is due, man. He's doing the nation a great service. Because I believe a lot of people have learned, man, I can't vote for Democrats. They're anti-American. They're anti-police. They're pro-socialism. I mean, this is not what America is supposed to be. But wokeness, man, I believe the wokeness has really destroyed the Democrats. The wokeness out there, the culture wars, they have been focusing on that. And that's what you actually heard here in that interview as well. Man, I cannot wait to see the midterms. I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to 2022, even more so than 2024, because I believe that 2022 is going to be a telltale sign for 2024. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, another black politician flips from blue to red. You got to love it, guys. You absolutely have to love it. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.